Hello, Deborah. Deborah. I feel like that's with this costume, that should be your name is Deborah.
Rich Aunt Deborah.
No, I'm Rich Aunt. Excuse me, young lady. Show some respect. You're talking to your Aunt Deb.
I can't.
Your Rich Aunt
God.
Deb.
Are they going to see my reaction before we? Is
I
it
think
a separate
so.
clip?
I think what I'm gonna do, and at this
almost-
point, yeah, you'll see it. But I think what I'm gonna do is do like a for both of us, kind of like show just the one reaction, and save the rest.
I about
for later.
peed my pants.
She didn't get it at first, which is fine. It was shocking.
Well, I didn't
Trust
realize
me.
that like me walking in, that was going to be the reveal. So I was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
True.
"Oh my God!"
That's a good point.
The
Yeah.
hat, the I heart being a cougar shirt.
I said, I don't know if you guys can see this. I heart being a cougar.
So
So
if you're not watching this on YouTube, Josh is me for Halloween.
Yes, I'm Rich Aunt Deb, and if you're not familiar with the podcast, or if you haven't been around too long, then Rich Aunt Deb was a joke that started 2 years ago?
I think so.
2 years ago, because during the summer, Deb had this run of pictures and videos where she was wearing these gigantic hats and saying, "Hey, I'm your rich aunt." And so then we started joking about it. I said, "You chase pool boys, and that you're a cougar," and all these different things. And so it's just kind of been like a running thread through all of our podcasts. And excuse me, there's hair in my face.
Well, welcome to my world.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not enjoying Rich Aunt Deb's world. My bank account doesn't show it. My hair is much longer and in my face. It's not a great existence. I'm gonna be honest with you. So when I realized this idea came to me a little while ago, because I realized that the Halloween episode that we do every year, where we dress up and all that stuff, it was going to fall on the same episode as episode 200. This is our 200th episode.
Oh, high five.
Okay.
Oh, I was pointing.
No, I'm
high
not
five.
pointing. No, I'm good now. I'm good.
That sums up our.
That sums it up. So, yeah. So I'm like, well, if it's the 200th episode, we've got to go big for the costumes. I think the first time we did it, I was Mario. The second year, I was a Ninja Turtle. Last year, I was a Ninja Turtle. And like 200, I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, oh, it's easy. It's Rich Aunt Deb. And so, and like I said, I have the tattoo sleeve.
The sleeve cracks me up.
And on the right arm,
Wait,
right?
Yeah. Yep. Left arm.
So, yeah. So that's what we have going on right now.
He has all of it. He's got the hair, which is very close to my color. It's like orange-ish. Did it come curled like that, or did you curl it?
I curled it.
You curled it?
No, I didn't. No, let's
Or
calm
did
down.
Rachel curl it?
Yeah.
Rachel curled it?
No, I'm kidding. It came like
okay.
this. No, I was thinking. I'm
I
like,
was gonna say,
let's not get crazy.
The waves look nice. I wish
Thank
my
you.
hair looked wavy like that. It's not quite. When I do it, like, it looks better than what I do. So it's cute. And I have a hat very obviously similar to that.
Is it the same size, or this one was big?
Oh, no. It's like the same. It's about the same size.
On Amazon, about $15. I was looking for the biggest hat.
Biggest.
And they have the dimensions and the diameter and all that stuff. I'm like,
I could have given you mine.
we can go bigger. And so this is the one I landed on, because then it gets to a certain point where the hat's so big. I'm like, this also has to fit in the screen, because you guys may realize that if you've watched any of our episodes where we do the Halloween episode or the Christmas episode, this is not the normal studio we're in. We're in my house. And so my brother is back here behind the screen.
Hey, Jordan.
Looking at me. He seems ashamed that his older brother. And so we were, I lost my train of thought. What was I just saying?
Oh, no, you're talking about the hat.
Oh, the
you were
hat.
saying that, yeah.
The hat. And I'm like, we have like a very tight space. And so I got to make sure the hat actually fits. So a lot of last night, shout out to my wife, who was awesome and helped me kind of get the look of this and make sure that everything was set up correctly. That was a big part of it. Like, I had her sitting here with the hat. Like, is this going to fit in the screen, or do we need to go wider? We can't go too wide. So at a certain point, the hat became a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Thank you.
It's like a perfect outfit.
I thank you so much.
I just need a shirt like that. I don't have a shirt like that.
You can have this one if you want. I'm not joking. It's a men's cougar shirt, but if you want this shirt, you can have it. So I'm wearing more women's clothing than I'm used to.
This is great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you. And your costume is awesome.
Yes. I decided to go dark this year.
Which, like you said, and before we started recording, I feel like you've mentioned it on a podcast before. You said it was like middle school Deb. And I kind of forgot that you had like a little bit of a dark.
Yeah, maybe not so dark. And dark Deb. Obviously minus the hair. Like I never changed.
Tattoos.
Never changed my hair. Right. Less tattoos.
Middle schooler tattoos.
But very much like dark eyeliner, like dark eyeshadow.
Sure.
Just like, I don't know, dark clothes. I mean, I wear black anyway, but
sure.
It's definitely.
Wait, do you wear black?
Middle school. A lot of my wardrobe is black.
Huh.
Or neutral colors.
Okay.
But then summertime, this is me right here. So
I know.
I can go back and forth for sure.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I feel like for the longest time, especially when we were doing Combine in person, it was always teal because of
that is my color. Like if I'm gonna have a
school
color.
colors and all that stuff. Yeah.
But
no, this is awesome. It did it made me laugh when I saw you because it doesn't look. This is gonna sound weird. I don't know if you agree, Jordan. It doesn't look that weird.
Like it looks natural for me.
I think that's what made me laugh. I'm like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh. It's like you look at me, I'm like, you're dressed up like a woman. That's weird. I looked at you, I was like, oh, she didn't change. She changed her hair color.
She just went and put a wig on and put makeup on, like different makeup on.
Yeah. Like I could see you in dark hair. I don't know if I would like podcasting with you like this the whole time.
I like how we're both wearing wigs.
Yeah.
It's great.
This looks like someone who like really, really loves the crime documentaries.
Yeah. Well,
like not just watches them, but it's taking notes.
Well, I was inspired by the, this look or the goth look or whatever on Snapchat. On Snapchat, there's a goth like AI app.
Okay.
Take a picture of yourself and it turns you into goth. And I don't know why, but I was just cracking up. I was taking pictures of everyone. I made my whole department do it. I made them and I like tricked them. I said, here, look into the camera. Boom. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, and I just start laughing and show them, this is you as goth. And it was just awesome. So funny. So that, I don't know. So I'm like, that's just what I'm going to be for Halloween. So
I love it. It's awesome.
It's Snapchat inspired, I guess.
Yeah. I don't want to take this in a weird direction, but I feel like because of the dark hair, because of the tattoos, because of the skull on your shirt, we might tap into a whole like Suicide Grill audience that we never had before. So if you guys are from that crew, welcome.
There you go. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good for you, but it's the jewelry too.
I got my friends gave me this jewelry, and so my friend, she's like, I have some crazy gaudy big jewelry that I never wear because I'm asking my friend because I'm like trying not to spend a ton of money, like as you probably on like we're just like I'm just grabbing what I can.
Sure.
This is actually my actual shirt. These tights that I ripped up, this is from my zombie outfit a few years ago. So I kept
that's right.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
So this outfit is mostly just my normal outfit. Minus the tights.
Okay, so we weren't that far
These
off.
shorts and these shoes.
Sure.
The black shoes are normal. The shirt's normal. The jewelry is not. This is my friend. She's like, here, I don't ever wear this. This is crazy jewelry. No, I have jewelry, but I don't. I have earrings. Like I have a bunch of piercings, but I don't wear like dangly. I'll wear a necklace if I'm feeling fancy sometimes, but that's about it.
All right. Let me ask you this. How many goats have you sacrificed?
Just 2.
Just 2?
Just 2 tonight.
Oh, just 2 tonight?
I would like to
That's pretty good.
I would like to ask your neighbor that. They have some crazy decorations. Do they always decorate like that?
I honestly thought you came from their house. Shout out to the neighbors.
Your neighbor's house is wild. I pulled up and I almost crashed into a curb. I could not stop looking. Like they're giant, whatever. Like there's a giant werewolf. It's crazy. And then so when I parked, it's hella windy out today, right?
Yes.
So it's very windy. So when I parked
disaster to my hair.
I parked and I looked up and you can see their backyard fence because it's on the corner. And I don't know, there's a clown back there too. They have stuff in their backyard that you can see that's like overhanging into the front yard. The clown started moving and I almost peed my pants for a second. And I'm like, oh, it's hella windy. I'm like, oh my God. Because I'm just staring at their decorations still.
It's
their decorations are crazy. It's great.
There's a lot going on. And shout out to whoever is, I don't know if it's, I think it's probably Costco and like Home Depot. I've seen so many of the same skeletons. There's a skeleton that's like halfway in the yard. There's a skeleton that's like 12 feet tall, and they're all over the city. No matter where you go, these things are everywhere. So shout out to them. You guys are making a killing on that. Yeah, for sure.
They're popular.
Very popular.
I wonder how much they are.
I can't remember. I did look. I didn't want one for my house.
Yeah.
But I did look.
Yeah, they're crazy.
It's expensive.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this is always a fun episode for us to do. This time we got a lot more audience involvement, which was fun. But before we do that, I just wanted to run through a couple of things because I feel like we did this last time. We hit 100. We hit a milestone. So I just like to let people know. Sorry, hair in my mouth.
Welcome to my world.
Like I said, not enjoying it. Also, by the way, we look like we're on opposite ends of the life spectrum, right?
We do.
Like this was
fun, sunny,
yeah,
and
like life's good.
Summery.
Rich husband, hey.
We should be on a sitcom right now or something.
Yeah.
And then there is a sitcom with I forget what it's called.
Like this?
Yes, it's like a really like sarcastic, like dark humor girl and a really bubbly like cheerleader.
Huh.
And I can't remember.
Like Two Broke Girls?
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Okay.
Are they still running those shows or no? I don't know.
I don't know. I never watched it. It's a big hit though.
Yeah.
People love that show.
Yeah, that's like us right now.
Very true. Yeah. I was going to go in a different direction, but yes, that's probably a much nicer way. You've fallen on some hard times. I actually feel like we're in that show Alias with Jennifer Garner. We're on 2 different missions.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, so 200 episodes. So I like to let people know what our most viewed and most downloaded. So if you're talking about most viewed on YouTube, number 1 still episode 65, Travis and Melissa Cole. So shout out to you guys. We've said it before. I think there's a correlation between how they look and that being visual. So they're still number 1. Shout out to you guys. Still the number 1 video, even all the way back to 65.
Wow.
Yeah, they have the most views for any of our YouTube videos. And for the most downloaded episode, it's Eric Rhodes, DJ Eric Rhodes.
DJ Eric Rhodes.
Episode 93. Yeah, he's far and away the most downloaded audio episode.
I love hearing his mashups that he puts out.
Yeah, that's why we got connected with him in the
Great.
first place.
Yeah,
I think it was like a Morgan Wallen. It was like Morgan Wallen and Warren G. Maybe I can't remember which one. It was something like that. But yeah, he's
they're
good.
Awesome.
And he's blown up.
Yeah.
Even we got him at the perfect time because I don't think if we reached out now, I don't think we can get him.
He'd be too busy. He'd be booked. We would have to like talk to his assistant.
Yes.
Or something.
And they would say no thanks. We're good.
Especially like how we are right now.
Yeah, it's like I'm not great. So that being said, do you have any? Sorry, it's gonna be a problem all night. Sorry guys, if you guys don't see me lick my fingers.
Hair in his mouth
Yeah.
all over. He's catching a glimpse of what it's like to be a girl.
That's why I wouldn't
with
do
hair
it.
Everywhere. Just don't go outside. It's too windy for that hair.
I know, that's why I stayed
Don't
in
go outside.
the whole time.
My hair was up today at work in a bun. Like there was no way.
Oh, yeah, PE teachers. The wind's not fun.
There's no way. Mm-mm.
Yeah, the heat and the wind.
Yeah.
Not your friend.
No.
So do you have I'm not going to ask you your favorite guest because I've learned not to do that to you anymore. But do you have a most memorable episode?
200. I got to filter through 200 on my head
200.
right now.
Can I go first?
Okay,
You're thinking?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This one, because I think I heard from the most people about this moment. And I feel like, I think between you and I think like I've said before, Jordan telling his story, Christine mentioned it in our last episode, one of the funniest moments on the show, way back in the day, his story about throwing up in his sweatshirt. It's one of the best. And I don't know if I've laughed that hard on an episode. But I think when it was just a solo episode, you and I think when I told you the crab dick story, I think that was the most fun because we had like a solid run of like 5 minutes just going back and forth with stupid childish jokes, which is how I live my life. I don't know how you do, but being a 36-year-old man, I still tell stupid jokes and stories like that. But that was one of the funniest things, and a lot of people talked to me about that one. So that's the one that really sticks out is that one.
Okay. Well, I literally I'm running through our episodes right now to look at names. I might have to come back to you. You can't ask me that. That's like when I have to pick for my PE classes. We have an award called Lead Dog after every unit. After every month, we have to pick. Dog? Yes, because we're Huskies.
No, I get it.
So
is that the best name?
What?
Lead.
Hey, I didn't make it up.
Do the kids like it?
They don't care.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think they care.
Lead Dog.
They get a free shirt anyway. We have to pick one kid from each class, and I hate it. Like, I avoid it. Like, if we forget it, I don't say anything. And then someone's like, we didn't do Lead Dog. And I'm like, God dang it. I got to pick somebody now. Memorable. I'm looking through. If I can, off the top of my head, like, I always enjoy Lauren. Lauren
She's
Johnson.
one of the best. One of our favorites.
Love talking to her. She just has knowledge. I love the mental aspect of what she does. I love mental health. I love talking about all that stuff. So anytime we have a conversation with her, it's just something interesting every time. And she works with athletes. So those are both of my worlds right there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I always tell myself not to pick her when I say my favorite episode, because she's one of our favorites, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because she does such high level stuff. Yeah. But she's so much fun to talk to. Like, I feel like she's definitely not one of us, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's like a fun conversation. And I feel like she really is taking a step down when she comes to our podcast. Like, she's talking to all these other really smart people.
Sorry, Lauren.
And it's like us
talking to us lowly
like, what kind of pet peeves do you have? Like, it's stuff like that. What makes you really upset?
Yeah.
But she's always so cool, and I feel like she fits into the podcast so well. Yeah. And because of all the great things that she does, like, that's why she's one of my favorites. And she's just easy to listen to. And it's a great mixture of just, she rolls with it too. Like, she gets the humor. Yeah. Because we've had guests on them before where, like, we'll say something about each other and they're like, well, it's like, well, we're joking. She gets it right off the bat. Like, she knows we're mean to each other and she rolls with it. So I'm with you. She's always one of my favorite guests. Yeah. But yeah, 200 episodes, pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
And like I said, we always say this, but even more episodes of podcasting when you consider all the other podcasts too. So it's a lot of talking. Yeah. And we're still rolling.
We like talking.
We do like talking. We don't know if you guys like listening, but we do enjoy talking.
Talk all day long.
Yeah. So anyways,
can I tell, I have to tell you something crazy that I saw, that is kind of Halloween related on the freeway a few days. When was it? I don't know. This past weekend. All right. So I was on my way home, before I forget, just because I put it in my notes to like tell the story. So before we go on to our next segment, okay, I just have to tell, it's just, I thought maybe no one will think it's funny. I thought it was funny, or I thought it was wild, but who cares? Okay. So I'm on my way home I went to my sister's. She lives in near the Bay Area, and I was helping her pack. They're about to move just down the street. Anyway, so I was there on my way home on Sunday. I'm listening to my true crime, of course. And there's a red Tesla that merges on the freeway next to me. And you know how some cars have Halloween decorations, I guess? Sure. Okay. So this one had hanging out of one of the windows like a severed arm, like a sawed off arm or something.
Okay. Sure.
Wrapped in I don't know, clear wrap, whatever. Sure. Out of the window, and then a leg out of the trunk. And I'm like, oh, that's clever. That's fun. And I'm watching, and they're in front of me the whole time. And I'm just kind of watching them, and the road too, but I'm watching them, and I'm like, and I'm listening to true crime, and I'm like, what if that's real? And I'm just like, I'm just spiraling now. And I'm like, oh my God, that would be crazy if those are real.
Did you follow them?
I didn't follow them, but
you thought about it.
No, all of a sudden a CHP comes flying out of nowhere, cuts me off, like literally cuts over like 3 different lanes, cuts me off, goes directly behind them and turns their lights on. Ooh. And pulls them over. And all in my head, I'm like, what if they get pulled over? Like, are they allowed to even have that? Like, I swear, right before that happened. And so they get pulled over, and I kind of glance at the car next to me, and this girl is thinking the same thing as me, because she's looking over and her mouth is wide open. Oh, man. And I was like, anyway, I didn't get to stick around to see what happened because I had to keep driving.
Did you slow down though?
Did
you try?
No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I try. I let my foot off the gas pedal to slow down for sure, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? Yeah. Like, it happened. I passed them. Sure. But I thought that is
pretty wild. I have seen those before. And
now I'm looking on the news. I'm like, was it real?
Was it real? I've always been surprised that people do that. Yeah. Because it seems like it's,
because you don't know.
You never know.
You don't know.
It could be the real thing.
I don't know.
No, I have seen that before. I guess I wasn't as fascinated. I just drove right past, like, well, hopefully it's not a dead body. Just kept going. But yeah, no, it is pretty wild. It's kind of in the same vein. Mm-hmm. Have you seen those clown videos where someone will be like in a park and then they'll approach, someone dressed up like a clown will approach?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
It seems insane. So my thought with that is that you're going to scare a lot of people. I also feel like at some point you're going to cross the wrong person who's not scared. Uh-huh. And instead of running away, they're going to seek contact. Yeah. And at that point, the joke's not funny. It's funny to everybody else who's watching the video, but I feel like the person who's actually pulling the prank, like it just seems like it might be a step too far.
Yeah.
And I would actually be more interested in that, like the ones where they scare people, like they're in a parking garage, and then this killer clown comes out, and the person just runs. Okay, I want to see the video where things go sideways.
Oh yeah.
Like where it's like, I'm not scared of clowns, and I like parking garages.
I feel like in Sacramento that's not a good idea. You just don't.
Shout out to Sac State
for the clown. Just don't
I think the parking garage.
Oh.
Man, Sac State had they might still have problems, but Sac State had a run where it was like, when I was going there, it was like every week it was like, hey, someone else got approached in a parking garage. Like, geez.
Oh no.
Maybe putting some more security in there.
Yeah.
It's not going well. So
no.
It's a great school though. I do like Sac State.
Yeah.
Just park out. Walk with a buddy.
Don't walk alone.
Don't walk alone.
Don't walk alone at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's our safety tip.
There you go. I just had to say my my red Tesla severed arm and leg story.
Yeah, that's good. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
It's Halloween. So hopefully, shout out to that person. Hopefully you're not a killer and there's not a dead body in your car. And if so, hope you don't listen to this podcast. Deb didn't see anything.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. So,
that was great.
All right. So should we jump into some of these?
Yeah.
So
we had a lot of submissions lots of things.
So let's start here.
Okay.
So we did a candy corn poll. Mm-hmm. It's like I said on Instagram, it's our most divisive conversation piece. It's the worst question we ask every year because people get upset. So we did it again. And 38 yes, 62 no, as far as do you like candy corn? Deb was one of the 38 and I was one of the 62. I don't like it. And, YouTube knows that.
Jordan, what side are you on?
No, I don't like it.
He's no too.
No.
You guys suck. Okay. Well.
No, okay. All right. Well, you know what makes me mad? Sometimes that's fine. No, don't apologize. We've done this for 200 episodes. The idea that you would even think of like, I'm so sorry. Enough, Deb. And especially like the way you're dressed, there's no way this woman has ever apologized for anything. You could knock a kid over at a park and it's like, should have been standing there. So let's not start apologizing now. But no, I think when people talk about candy corn and the people who love candy corn, they're like, you talk about candy corn like it's the worst thing in the world, but what about like the peanuts, like those orange peanuts, like like the sugary peanuts that people give out?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like those, but they're not even close to what candy corn is. Candy corn's trash, and it's wax. Like, oh, I'm sorry, is this a piece of candy or is it a coloring crayon? Because that's what we're eating. We're just eating the tips of coloring crayons. But go ahead if you have anything to say on behalf of candy corn lovers. Go ahead.
Hey, I know. All I know is that there was a point in my life in college when that is all I ate. Literally, like I'd be studying and eat like a bag of candy corn.
That's so gross.
I wouldn't eat a bag today. I would eat like maybe a couple pieces. The older I get, I'm not like Jordan's just looking at me like this is the most disgusting thing I've ever said ever.
Yeah. Well, I think also the idea that this person that you're portraying right now loves anything. I don't even know if you've said the word love.
I said I used to
hate
like candy corn. Oh, hate.
Hate, probably. There's a darkness to you today. I feel like the word love's not in your vocabulary.
I wouldn't. Yeah, today. I mean, I'd eat a couple pieces, so I still like it. But
I almost bought you a bag today, but then the idea of candy corn being in my house, nah, I'm good.
You're that hateful about it, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't like it. Makes me sick.
All right, so
shout out to Paul Marshall. I know you like it. I hope we can still be friends.
Paul's my guy.
But
right.
Just know I'm not on the same page with you as far as that. So don't like it.
All right, we did the poll.
Yeah. Oh, and haunted houses.
Okay.
20% said yes to haunted houses, and 80% said no.
I said no.
We were in the same boat. I don't like them either. I don't like being scared. And the problem is some of the ones around Sacramento are getting really good.
So I have a student in not my class, but one of my friend's classes in the same gym, and he told me that he works at one of those haunted houses.
Like one of the good ones? Like the big ones?
I think the Heartstoppers, one.
That's a big one.
Okay, so I don't even know what's good. Anyway, so he's a freshman, and he's the one who like gets dressed up as whatever and jumps out at people or whatever.
Okay.
Right? And he said that last weekend or whenever, I don't know when it was, that someone like either passed out or someone like something happened to where like the ambulance had to come, and then he said the cops came. I don't know if this is true. When you get kids telling you stuff, I don't know. I haven't seen anything online or in the news or anything because it's still up and running. And I'm like, do they sign waivers or anything? And he's like, I don't think so. But I don't know. Who knows? That
was your impression of a freshman boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty good. That was pretty good. Spot on.
I'm around them all day long.
Disgust in your voice.
Yeah. So The jumping out and scaring, like, absolutely not. Like, I will throw hands, and so I can't go in those. I did one of those haunted houses at Universal Studios a long time ago. Like, I think, like, I was.
We talked about that, yeah.
Okay, we did, yeah. And they jumped out at me, and I had an umbrella, and I was swinging my umbrella at them.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that's not the best time to go.
No, and I like ran out. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, and I've said this before. I know we're it's broken record. We're talking about the same things as we did in past years, but I just need to say this again, and I hope this doesn't offend any of our loyal listeners. But there is, I guess I've told this story before. Jordan and I went to Universal around Halloween time when they were their fright nights.
Yeah. And
we had to leave the park early because we weren't a part of that. And so as we're leaving, you're seeing the Halloween crowd come in.
Uh-huh.
And this is going to be stereotypical, but there's a very clear difference between the families that are leaving, the people that are coming in. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's clear that those people love death and they love Halloween.
So like me, like how I'm
yes.
dressed. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
they would have loved you there.
It's like the people at Aftershock. Aftershock.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Just got back from Aftershock, everybody.
Didn't you go last year?
I went a couple years ago.
Okay.
For one night for the first time ever, and it was wild. That place was wild. I saw some girl on stilts as taller than your house pour Jack Daniels down some guy's throat. He's like just like a baby bird, like just taking it. And it was I can't, that's all I'll say.
Sure.
Like, this is crazy. It was very entertaining, the whole
sure.
thing. Everyone I saw. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this in the most respectful way possible. I feel like you would have been very popular there.
If I were dressed like this, yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think I just had like my Converse. I was trying to blend in. My hair was normal. I just had my Converse on. I had shorts. I think I don't know. I had some t-shirt on, kind of like this. I don't know. I
feel like you're making something up right now because I feel like whatever you wore was way worse than
no.
Do you get that sense? Yeah, me too. Because like she's like, I was wearing. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're making this up right now. Whatever you were wearing, you as a teacher, you probably
I should have worn
say.
this. I would have blended right in wearing this. I didn't even think to. I don't think I had these tights yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like I said, they probably loved it. That crew out there, would have been a big fan of.
Whatever
I was gonna say Black Ginger. That's probably not gonna work. I don't know. You gotta think of a different name.
Black Ginger.
I don't know.
Goth Ginger.
Goth. Yeah, there's gotta be something better. We'll think.
Okay,
we'll think on that.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. You know what?
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
He's reaching for his bag.
Yeah.
He's got a surprise for me, probably.
A little thirsty.
Oh my God. Queen, can I keep this?
Please, I don't want it.
If you're not watching on YouTube, this is amazing. This is like a giant. Did you make this?
Absolutely not.
It is a giant wine glass.
We're back.
Back.
As always, we have some technical issues because we are not professionals.
You could have we had a sponsor break. Well, we can't show for the sponsor break, so.
Yeah, who wants to sponsor us? I feel like we've already said a couple of things in this podcast that would not please the sponsors. So. She looks like a sponsor for Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Spokesperson, Liquid Death.
Exactly.
Kill your thirst.
We were talking about
murder your thirst.
We were talking about my goblet that you got me that I'm really excited for. That's where we left off last. Yeah.
How can you miss it?
The goblet that can fit a couple bottles of wine.
Perfect.
Sorry, we're taking a picture for for people who are just listening.
Rich Aunt Deb is hydrated again.
We are ready to go.
Yep,
yes.
we're all good.
Good. Yeah.
Before we have more technical issues,
okay.
Let's jump in. I actually just sent you a text too with a couple more responses for. So.
Oh, good.
This was Deb brought this to the table and she said.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, she said, "Hey, what about if we took a kind of not a poll, but asked people what are the cringiest couples costumes for Halloween?" Which I think we all can say like couples costumes are a big deal. Mm-hmm. You go to Spirit Halloween, you go to the Halloween stores, you go on Amazon. Like there's a ton of costumes for couples. Some of them are funny, some of them are creative, and then there's some that just make you look like, why did you do this? Like why did you bring this out into a public space? And so those are the ones we wanted to hear about. Those are the most fun. So we thought, hey, let's see what people think are the most cringy. So I'm just gonna tell you mine right now.
Okay.
The one that the one that Jordan mentioned that you'll share in a little bit was actually the one that I would have taken. But since he took that, I decided to go a different route. The ball and chain. When you have a couple that dress up like the ball and chain. Like that's always like, I'm like, that just always seems weird to me. It's like, I think you thought this was really funny. I don't think it's as funny as you think it is. But maybe to some people it would be. But, for me, it was like, I don't know. Yuck.
Yes. I haven't that. Yes, that's bad. I haven't seen that.
Sure.
Ball and chain, but I know obviously I know what that is, but I
Sure.
haven't seen anyone with costumes like that. But but my cringy one is like when they're famous celeb couples, like when people did like Kim and Kanye, or like
Sure.
today would be like Taylor and Travis.
Kelce, yeah.
I would just be like, I see them too much. Anything I see too much in the media, like I don't like. It's like too obvious. Like I don't want to see.
Sure.
Like as
Diddy.
Yeah.
Which
How many Halloween costumes are going to be Diddy this year?
Quite a few. And I want to go on record right now.
With baby oil.
Correct. I'm going to go on record and say that I will no longer be making any jokes about Deb buying gallons of lube because not as funny anymore. Now that we've had the Diddy stuff come out, I will retire that joke.
Thanks, Nicole, for calling it lube that one time on the episode.
It was great. It was, sure. It was lube. But it was a fun joke for a while, and now that came out, I realized I'm going to make it official. I will not make that joke anymore because now it feels gross.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you get.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that.
So I only got a couple of responses on that one, and they were
too.
both the same. And then you just sent me one that's the same, and that is the God, now I got to open my phone again because I already forgot. The plug-in socket. People, I've never seen that. I've never seen the ball and chain. I've never seen the plug-in socket, but that's a popular one that is
Very
like the
popular.
most cringy.
Yeah. And because look, here's the thing. The plug-in socket, we get it. We know what you're saying. We know what you're showing. But we don't need to see it. Like it's not even that funny anymore because it's been around for so long. It's like, you know what I mean? Maybe the first time it ever came out, it's like, that's kind of clever. Now it's like, we get it.
It's annoying.
It's annoying. I saw one. I didn't put it on there, but I was looking for cringy costumes. I was actually looking for like a picture that I could post. There was one. This one was dressed up like a genie, and the other guy was dressed up like the lamp, and then the lamp is by his wiener, and it says "Rub me."
Oh.
So that's one where it's like that's probably like he probably thought it was hilarious, and then I think some of his buddies might find it hilarious. I think the rest of us are kind of like it's kind of gross. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, that person is not just doing that for the joke. Am I right? Am I wrong? Like if someone comes up and gives him a little rub,
well,
he's not gonna be mad at it.
If that's what he wants.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's like playing off like a joke, but he's like, I was saying, there's probably not a lot of layers of clothing underneath the lamp. So go ahead.
That's an interesting one.
That was gross.
And then another one that we got is our presidential candidates together.
Yeah.
Kamala and Trump. What? Why am I seeing all these memes about what their baby would look like? I see that all the time. No one sees that.
I think our algorithm is different. See, Rich Aunt Deb's had a little sauce. Can't speak, slurring my words a little bit.
But that was the other one.
That is, as you know, if you've been a fan of this podcast, we don't talk politics at all. This is probably the closest we'll ever talk about politics. You know what makes that one really cringy? I get the humor in it and why it would be funny seeing those two together. I think the part that is cringy to me is, if you take that to a Halloween party, that's going to start a conversation or an argument or something's going to happen where that's going to become a topic.
It's going to trigger somebody.
It's going to trigger someone. And I'm like, I want no part of that.
You're just going to walk in. Can you imagine that's how you're dressed and you're just like, watch this, guys. And you just walk in and then you just walk around together, just drinking the punch or whatever, just saying, hey, what's up? And just go to every room and just watch as you leave each room, just the fireworks and just whatever. And then the shit show happens and you just leave.
Yeah. It's like, see you guys. And just walk right out. Just drop that grenade. Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah. So did you have any others?
That was it. Those were the only responses I got.
Are there any couples costumes? First of all, have you done a couples costume?
No. Barf.
Never ever?
Never ever. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. See, I lied.
Again, that'll make sense. This person's never told the truth in their life.
I was years ago with my ex-husband. Well, then husband, now ex-husband. We were from Jersey Shore. I was Snooki. Yep. Look, there it is. And he was, I don't remember, Ronnie, maybe, I guess.
Can I say this? I don't believe you. I think you know exactly who he was.
No, I don't remember. I think he was trying to be Ron because he liked Ron. And I think I didn't want to be Sammy. I think I wanted to be Snooki because I wanted the big poofy poof hair thing.
Sure.
And so, yeah, that's what we were.
And where did you guys wear that? Like a Halloween party?
I don't remember. I don't know what we did. I only remember that because I remember seeing pictures of us. Otherwise,
okay.
I probably would not remember that that's what we did. That's the only thing I can remember, or because I remember the picture. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can say this on air. If you want me to cut this, I can. But so a while ago, you told me what your married name was, and you said that your Facebook was still out there.
Yeah.
I did eventually look into it. I'll say it's very strange.
Yeah.
Seeing you in that situation.
Yeah. It's
And you
out
were
there.
right.
I don't know how to do it. It's still there.
You were right. Some of your posts were very funny because I feel like
Oh my God.
current Deb, if you were to look back, which you can, look back at what you posted, I'm like,
You can see 'em.
I feel like this Deb would roast that Deb.
So annoying.
But
I'm reading my post and I'm like, ew. I'm just
It was a little
this
jarring.
is so annoying. I'm annoyed at myself. I'm annoyed myself.
Yeah, I'll say it was weird seeing like the couple
was-
pictures. I'm like, well, I don't remember what the last name is, which is probably good. I'm like, I'm good. I saw it once.
Yeah.
It threw me out. It was like the Twilight Zone. It
feel
really
the
threw
same.
me. It didn't. It felt weird. It felt weird.
You're like, this is the Deb we never met. We
Yeah.
never met this Deb.
I'm glad I met you when I did. I'll say
There you
that.
go. A lot of people say that. It's,
Fair enough. Sure.
okay.
Those are your friends that say that?
Yeah.
So I'll see. They know you pretty well.
There
so
you go. They're like,
there you
we
go.
like. I was with some of my childhood friends a few weeks ago, and they mentioned that. They're like, dude, you're like a way cooler person now. They're like, we like you. I said, cool.
Well, it's kind of what Christine said
Yeah.
too. She's like, when you guys first met, I was like, eh.
Oh yeah.
And then now you guys
was
are cool.
rough.
Yeah.
This is how I actually was.
I don't really like looking at you in the eyes. I gotta be honest with you. I'm glad I have these sunglasses on because I'm not really making eye contact with you. I feel like there's some darkness.
Hey, it's there.
All right.
It used to be there.
That used to be. It's there.
It's still there.
It's there.
But yeah, that was my only couples outfit, Halloween outfit that I can remember.
Sure. Hey, I'll tell you this. That one guy that will remain nameless that mentioned that you guys had gone on a date, but he was too big. I'll tell you what. He would like this look. Based on what he's posted, he'd be into it.
Yeah. Well.
Like, can I just toss this out there?
Yeah.
I think that guy, again, I don't know him. I'm just basing this all off of what he posted. Big video game guy, a lot of dark videos, a lot of dragons in his videos. I think his ideal night would be you dressed like this, sitting with him, eating Cheetos,
I bet it
drinking
would
a
be.
Monster,
I bet
watching,
it would
playing
be.
some video game. I think
Yeah.
it'd be like he could die right there. He's like,
That
my
is
life's
like,
made.
You just gave me deja vu. That is.
Excuse me?
I'm not gonna. That reminds me.
Whoa, no. Time out.
Jordan saying.
No,
time
you can't.
out.
You can't drop that. See, she's done this to me twice. I throw a little joke
I'm
out there,
trying
and
to-
she makes
I'm
it too real. So
Trying to be
now,
careful of how much shit to talk here. is what I'm saying.
well, you don't have to, but you can. So it's concerning. I was joking, but it concerns me that you made that seem like that was a real thing. Was that a real thing?
Not all of it, but maybe.
Cheetos,
No, not the Cheetos.
the Monster,
Yeah.
the video games.
Yes.
You dress like this.
Without the wig, maybe. No wig.
All right. I don't believe it. I think it was without the wig, but I think your hair was black.
My soul was black. I'm just kidding.
I don't think you were. All right. That took a different turn. See, Deb will throw you curveballs every once in a while. Like you make a joke, and I throw out this like ridiculous, like this. There's no way this could be true. And she's like, closer to the truth than you think.
Yeah.
All right. What video game was it? Do you know?
Oh, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, the games the 12-year-olds play.
We play this sometimes. Not a big deal.
Point take.
I
Jordan.
asked my wife to dress up like you're dressed right now. I just
You're gonna have Rachel.
can
I'm
we
gonna leave the wig for
can we borrow
Rachel.
that wig?
Leave my outfit for Rachel. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Have her wear tattoo sleeves.
Yeah.
She's not gonna like this.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh,
Anyways,
boy.
let's move on.
Next segment.
Let's move on out of what I thought was a fantasy and it actually does real life. That was just a joke, but
Unfortunately.
not funny anymore.
Yep.
All right. So we decided this year to do some costume, not a contest, but we wanted to see if anybody would be willing to submit costumes of themselves from past years.
Yeah.
And so we thought, hey, let's reach out on Instagram and have people submit these. So we're looking at these for we've kind of seen them, but we're going to talk
Yeah.
about it for the first time.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll show it on the screen. So if you're watching the video, then you'll be able to see it. If you're only listening, we'll try our best to describe what's going on here. So Deb, I think this is your cousin.
Oh, okay. She did say she sent some.
Yeah,
I haven't seen these yet.
Yeah, this is your cousin. So what we're looking at, and you'll notice that some people have pumpkin faces. That's because we wanted to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
So
some people have asked to blur their faces out.
Yes,
some of them. So that's what we did.
Jack-o'-lantern faces. So
this is cool.
This is Kiss, and
obviously.
Yes, and she says she's the one that's dressed up like Gene Simmons.
Yeah, I was gonna say there she is, right there.
On the left-hand side there.
Which one she is.
So it's a very cool picture. Everybody else also looked great in their costumes. Do you have any idea or context of where this was? Was it like a work thing or?
It looks like a work thing, I think, and I'm not sure when it was, but yeah. I mean, she lives in a different state. She doesn't live here, so I don't get to see her a ton. But we talk on social media, and yeah.
She seemed very cool.
I haven't seen her in a long time. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes,
yeah, that looks like a work event.
Can you remind me her name?
Brittany,
thank you. I had it written down on my phone, but I wasn't looking.
Nice,
so let's
Brittany.
move to the next one. Also, these are actually a few from Brittany in a row. This one is crazy to me. Like the amount of detail on her face.
Zebra.
She's a zebra. That's funny. I did not know it was a zebra.
That is a zebra.
That's pretty good.
Crazy.
It's the face paint's pretty wild.
Cool.
And it's the dark in the mouth really throws me off because I see like the straw from her Dr. Pepper going up there and just disappearing in the darkness.
That is so funny.
It's very impressive with the paint work.
Yeah.
But so it's a zebra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right away I was like, oh, zebra.
Very cool. I thought it was just like
job.
some
You're like,
face paint.
Just paint on the face, just lines.
His face. Yeah, face paint. So thank you, Brittany, for that one.
Nice job, Brittany. That is so cool.
And then this is actually Brittany as a princess.
Oh my God.
Little Brittany.
Little Brittany. This is how I remember her.
What's the, you don't have to tell me up or down, but what's the age difference?
She's down, I think, by like 5 years.
5 years?
5
okay,
or
so
6
your
years.
younger cousin.
Yeah,
very cool.
Cousin. Yeah.
So yeah, this was fun seeing the younger version of Miss Brittany.
Cute.
As a princess there.
Little pretty princess.
Has the wand, has the dress, has
Love
the gloves that look gigantic on her.
That looks like my aunt's house.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yep.
A whole family affair.
Is that her Nana's house? Yep.
It's not the last time you'll see.
I have some crazy ghost stories from them too, of this family.
I forgot about the ghosts. We'll get back to the ghost stories. I forgot about that. I'm glad you said that.
I have ghost stories.
All right, so let's roll through.
That's one of my besties from back home, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
So this is so funny. So Michelle, this is their text. We're in a group chat and they're sending me their photos. And her boyfriend sent this and he's like, this is actually not a Halloween costume. This is Goth Michelle on a random day in July.
All right. You ready?
Their ghosts don't want us to finish this episode.
They don't.
Anyway.
They barely wanted us to start.
Right.
So
yeah, this is my friend Michelle in a goth outfit.
Okay.
I like hers better than mine. It's awesome.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And this is not a Halloween costume though.
No. I mean, apparently, I don't know. That's what their text said. They were laughing because they're like, she just dressed up like this in July.
Very
and
nice.
so I was like, I have to submit that because it looks awesome.
I love it. And I'm sorry, Michelle, you said?
Michelle, yeah.
Michelle. Shout out to Michelle. Thank you so much. Is that her only picture?
She has another one somewhere, so we'll get to it.
Okay.
So
who are these dudes?
So the guy on the left with the mohawk is my friend Krista's son, who is now in high school. So this was a while ago.
When was this? Like, was he elementary school?
It looks like elementary school.
Okay,
and
very
then
nice.
on the right is her husband's kid. And they're like a year or two apart.
Dressed as a couple psychopaths.
A
killer cowboy, and then looks like someone who's wearing the face of a clown.
I didn't
Not
even
a clown
like
mask, but like I think he scalped a clown and then put it on.
It does really. They didn't say what they were exactly, and I didn't have time to ask. But this is awesome.
This is a very, very cool costume. It is terrifying. I wouldn't want to see these little guys.
Yeah, an axe with
come at
blood
me.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what are like bullet holes?
Yeah.
On the other guy.
Oh yeah, he's
or
got a
stab
shirt with
wounds.
bullet holes. Yeah, it's very violent.
Yeah, wearing a dog collar. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But they still look cute.
Yeah, I don't know what they do for a living, but you don't want to mess with them. I'll say that. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next one.
Okay, so this is Michelle again.
Shout out to Michelle
on the right. So, and that's her boyfriend, Baja, on the left as Power Rangers.
Michelle and Baja. Power Rangers. You got the pink Power Ranger and the blue Power Ranger.
I remember when they did that.
That's pretty cool.
This was a while ago, and I thought that was awesome.
That's a great.
They said that was their favorite.
That is pretty cool. It looks like a real Power. Like it looks like he's about ready to fight some bad guys.
It's great. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. There we go.
Great
Michelle
costume. Really went all out for that one.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And then this is on the left is Christine,
Okay.
who we just had.
Yep. Shout out to Christine.
There you go, Christine. That was the episode before this, on episode 199.
Yes. Also, Christine, thank you so much. I didn't tell you this, but I appreciate you mentioning Rich Aunt Deb on that episode, because little did you know, that's who I was planning on dressing up for, as today. So
some foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And then that's her friend on the right. And Christine, she texted me. She said she was cracking up too, because she was like, I'm going to send you this Halloween pic. And this was a long time ago. And me and my friend thought they were like, quote, slutty outfits. She's like, we thought these were so scandalous. And it turns out we're covered a lot. We're actually pretty covered. So She sent it to me, and she's making fun of herself. And I'm like, you guys look like, it looks cute. Great. She's like, yeah, but we thought we were like being scandalous. Which today, the girls today are wearing like bikinis, like, type, there's that too, with costumes.
I was gonna say, for a high school teacher, Halloween's tough.
It's rough.
It's rough, right?
Well, it's not, not for me personally, because that's not an outfit I would ever wear anyway, even if I wasn't a teacher. But yeah, teachers have to be careful.
No, not the teacher. I meant as a teacher dealing with students.
Oh,
God. Do they push it, I imagine? Because sometimes you have those dum-dums that wear the mask. It's like, we got to see your face. But
the masks, not they don't, like, the
know
girls
can't wear.
Don't. Why not? I thought that's what you meant, like when we wear our costumes going out.
No.
I'm like, we do have to be careful, but yeah. Halloween, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
not too bad.
The costumes are cool, but it's not too bad.
All right, so no one's like pushing it like you're saying, where it's like,
not in a while. Not as I can't remember one in a while. Yeah, but kids are also in high school right now. I don't know if it's this generation, but they're too cool to dress up right now. Like, they don't do the older kids. I think maybe the middle school and like the elementary kids will dress up.
Yeah.
The high school kids, it like waters down. It like gets they're just kind of like meh. Like, maybe I'll get 5 kids in each class that'll dress up.
Gotcha. Not a couple of dorks that would do a podcast dressed up as each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. They're scandalous outfits, a cop and a firefighter. Looks cute.
I'm not gonna say anything about this one, but
I'll say it. They look cute.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. But Christine is happily married with a child, so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This cop's not gonna come arrest you.
And then here's Christine again on the right.
Oh,
it looks like
she arrested someone.
It looks like it's the same night, I think, or maybe it's a different night. Anyway, she's a cop still, and then she
lost her hat though. So
that's her sister on the left.
She's been busy.
Yeah, her jailbird. I think that's what she is.
Yep.
Yeah. So
very nice.
You go. Love it.
Very cool. Thank you, Christine, for sharing those.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Oh, okay, here we go.
So this is my sister, my brother-in-law, and that's my nephew with the pumpkin over the face. So they were jack-o'-lanterns that year.
He's a cute kid. Cute. I can vouch for it.
And their dog Hohen over down there. It looks like he has an outfit on too. It's hard to see.
Looks like maybe a pumpkin as well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All jack-o'-lanterns, all pumpkins.
Great.
Super cute. And then here they are again. Yeah, she sent me a bunch. So they're very much into Star Wars, clearly. So and look at their dog has even got the Star Wars
That's pretty
Mickey
good.
Mouse hat on. So
can I ask you a question about this? Because, well, go ahead. I think there's another picture after this one, also Star Wars.
Okay.
So let's go to that one real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So were they always, was your sister into Star Wars, or is this something that she adopted from her now husband, or was vice versa? Was she into Star Wars and he adopted it, or is it they both like Star Wars and they bonded on this thing?
He very much is into like Comic-Con. They go to Comic-Con every year.
Oh, really?
In San Diego. Yes, they dress up for it.
Is that what this was? Because these are pretty legit.
Possibly.
Costumes.
I don't. Who knows? Probably.
They're dressed as.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jedis. I do not know,
yeah.
but they are holding lightsabers. So I think that's fair to assume.
Yeah. So they go to Comic-Con every year. Just Marvel, DC. That's very much him. My sister, not so much that part, but she's a Disney person. Gotcha. So I feel like they kind of merged.
So it works. Yeah, it did works. For sure. There we go. Yeah. Well, very cool costumes. You can tell by his face. This is a serious thing for him. He takes it
seriously. Oh, their house, their wall decor is.
Oh, really?
Star Wars. Not Star Wars, but
all the stuff you mentioned. Yeah,
I get them. What is the difference between DC and Marvel? And I forget. I think they're DC. Yes,
probably Marvel.
They're DC. Well, I don't know. I think it's DC. Maybe.
Okay.
What is Superman?
Well, I think Marvel.
Is he DC?
So Marvel's owned by Disney.
Okay.
And like the Star Wars, Disney, all that stuff's at Disneyland. So I think
maybe he has both, but they have pictures, nice pictures, like framed pictures all over their house.
Very nice. Okay.
So that's the theme of their house. Anyway, yeah.
All right. So they are, I was gonna say these costumes look
Yeah.
like they're serious about it. So
Yeah.
very nice.
Again, and
Shout out to the Paw Patrol.
Yeah, Paw Patrol. My nephew loves Paw Patrol, so I'm sure that was dictated by him 1,000%. So
That makes sense.
So cute.
And I just wanted to point something out. because when I saw this picture, I noticed the stance that your sister is has right now. That is very much like a parent pose where it's like you got to hold the kid, but you also want everybody to see the costume. Like I recognize that pose.
Just propping him
Because she
up.
can't just hold them like this because then you start
Yeah.
covering the costume, which defeats
Yeah.
the purpose of the picture.
Yeah.
The knee up, like
Yeah.
supporting the ankle on the other
Pro.
knee. It was a pro
Got
move.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done.
Love it.
Well done.
Good job.
All right.
Nice.
Next one.
And that was Alicia and Robert, my sister and my brother-in-law.
Shout out
Alicia and
to
Robert.
Alicia and Rob.
Yeah. Okay, here's Michelle again.
Which one's Michelle?
Michelle is in the pink, the aqua net. So this was
Gotcha,
like
okay.
80s themed. She said this was 80s themed Halloween, and she was Hairspray for Halloween.
Oh, like the play?
No, just like Aquanet as a brand of
Oh,
hairspray.
like she's actually
She's
hairspray.
actually hairspray.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
okay.
so, and it looks like everyone else has 80s attire. It looks great.
Yeah.
Those are like that is spot on everything that those girls are wearing. So
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Is
The
this
leggings,
a work thing, it
the
looks
leg
like?
warmers. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It looks like it's in an office. Yeah.
Very nice. Have you
Yeah.
done the 80s thing? I feel like you have. No?
I think so. I don't know.
How much of your life
I
do you
have
remember?
Not a lot of it.
Okay, I'm starting to pick up on that. I ask these questions and you look like deep in thought, like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be like a
No.
quick, like, I've never done the 80s thing.
No, I feel I'm thinking because I feel like I've done an 80s themed before for something, but not Halloween. Like maybe
Gotcha.
for a party I went to or
Sure,
something. So
sure.
I don't think it was Halloween though.
Okay.
So
Very nice. Well, thank you again, Michelle. See, I was trying to put these
Yeah.
in like together, like
Oh,
group them together,
gotcha.
but
Yeah.
she had a different look in all of them, so I couldn't
Yeah.
tell it was her the whole time.
Yeah, that's okay.
So there we go.
Okay, so the picture with the kids with the
Yes.
murder
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the outfits. Okay, these
Two-
are their
two
parents.
psychopaths, yeah.
The psychopaths. These are their parents. This is Krista
Very nice.
and Jose, which is funny. They're respectively standing on the same side as their kids. So Krista's
Oh,
kid
very
was
nice.
standing on the left, and Jose's kid was
A
standing on the right.
league of their own.
A league of their own. This
Very
is
nice.
classic. I
It's
love this.
Those are
Yeah.
legit costumes too.
Legit. Those are legit costumes as well.
It's a great movie.
Yep.
Very
They're-
cool.
I love it. I think they have a few more in here too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Then they have these are nice pictures too. These are not just
Yeah.
like random Polaroid shots. These are like
Dude, they sent these to me so fast. I'm like, did you guys have
Oh,
these
they're-
like ready to go on your phone? Like they're just in there. How did you guys find these?
they've been waiting for the moment. That's very very
It's
nice.
Great. I
very
loved
nice.
it. Yeah. Yeah. That's Krista and Jose. Okay, here's Krista again and one of her friends. And they are Ninja Turtles. And
Love
I
Ninja
that-
Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, love it.
And like the more feminine Ninja Turtles with the tutus,
Tutus.
the huge tutus too.
Yeah, yeah.
They weren't messing around with these. It looks like they got the green socks as well.
And the Converse, the green Converse, right? Yeah.
Yep, green Converse.
Yeah, and the little face masks are cute.
So-
The eye masks.
My favorite Leonardo. Shout out to who's that one?
Krista.
Krista.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Krista.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant the turtle. I'm like,
No,
oh.
I know the turtle. Don't know the person. I forgot the person.
It's Krista.
Krista. Shout out to Krista. My
Yeah.
favorite turtle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
very cool.
Very cool.
Nice twist in the turtle costumes.
Yeah,
Which
cute.
was what I did last year.
Yeah.
They look better than I did. So on to the next one. All right.
Okay, here's Krista and Jose again.
Got some wild costumes here.
Yeah, Jose's on the left. They're the Incredibles, and then
Yep.
Krista's on the right. Awesome costumes. And then I think this is, I'm not sure where they are on this one. But anyway.
Okay,
So,
so-
and I'm trying to, what are the two on the right? That's a hot dog and a bun, right?
It is. Okay, so this is what's happening
Obviously
here.
a rainbow in the middle.
Rainbow in the middle. So you got Mr. and Mrs. Incredible on the left, rainbow in the middle, and then you have the bun and the hot dog on the right, which is from the movie Sausage Party.
Oh.
So
okay.
you have
that makes
in
sense.
this one picture, you have two very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to animated films. One,
I've seen Sausage Party. Okay. That
one my
makes
kids really love. The other was I won't let my kids watch. So,
Oh my
I
God.
saw this one. I'm like, oh, this one sticks out for sure.
Yeah.
And then you have the rainbow connecting the two. So it's like there's like
So
that
funny.
the spectrum, both ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a wild pairing of costumes.
I love it. I love that they sent these to me.
This is awesome. So yeah, this one definitely stuck out when I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yep, I recognize that
one.
hot dog and the bun.
Yeah.
So very nice. Thank you guys for sending that picture. Oops.
All right,
we got
this
a
is a
little
smorgasbord
collage.
of
Wayne's
Michelle
World.
again and one of her coworkers. Yeah,
Look at
they're
that
Wayne's
monkey
World,
in the back.
which is great. I
Or
know.
the Bigfoot. What is it? A Bigfoot.
I don't know. Bigfoot, maybe. Yeah, but
Look at the bottom right. She's actually all of the.
I love it. I know they are making the facial expressions and everything. I love it.
Are you familiar with Wayne's World?
Yeah, and I've seen people. My friends have done Wayne's World also.
Which one's
Yeah.
the blonde one? Do you remember the name?
Well, I don't
Is
know.
it Garth or?
I think the hat is Garth.
Okay, whoever the blonde one is, she really nails those
Yeah.
facial expressions.
Yeah, that's
the
Michelle.
bottom right.
Yeah,
And then the top left. It's pretty good. Well done.
those are great.
Do these people love Halloween?
I mean, they are just very spirited. They just get into it. I love it. They prepare.
I can tell.
Yeah, you have to prepare for Halloween. Yeah.
You got this guy in the background, top right.
I
Is he
know.
supposed to be in the picture?
I don't know. He's,
Wearing
looks
like
a little sus over there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's wearing a padded vest and an orange shirt. I'm not
Wonder
sure if
what
he's
he
supposed to be there.
was.
I would not want that man standing behind me.
I'll ask her about that.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like he's gonna choke someone. I'm sure you're
Looks
very
like it.
nice.
Oh.
If he's a nice guy, you don't need to pass on that comment.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, this is me,
Oh, look at that.
little Josh, and I forgot how old I was, but yeah, in a dragon costume.
Dragon. Okay.
Dragon.
I was gonna say dinosaur. Okay.
Dinosaur.
Dragon.
It was probably a dinosaur.
So
yeah, you're right.
cute.
Yeah. Well, you say that, and then look at this little guy.
Oh, look.
So we may have to. We
It's
may have
Jordan.
to. I was not happy when I saw this picture of my dad's collection because I'm like, well,
Recycled.
I don't look as good. No, it's not. It has nothing
Oh,
to do
no?
with recycle. It's like he looks better than I do. He's a cuter kid. Look at. There's that and that. I can admit it. It's a better picture, a better angle. Like this kid knows what he's doing. This kid's like, I don't know. Where's the candy? So we may put that on social media, a little side by side, and see.
Take a poll. Say
We'll
which one.
we'll see
Who's
who wore it
cuter?
better.
Who wore
Well, we
it
don't.
better?
We don't need to say cuter because here's the thing. I know who's going to win that conversation. I'll do it for the clicks, but it's going to be Jordan. Look at the pictures. Which one?
Yeah, Jordan for sure.
100%. See?
100%.
For a husky boy, I look slim.
Yeah, that you wear that you wear that dinosaur well.
Yeah.
If he turned facing forward, might be different. But he knew this competition was going to
Okay,
happen
yeah.
years and years later.
Yeah, he was ready.
He was ready. But yeah, I thought I'd toss someone out there.
Love it.
So I've mentioned this
oh my
before.
God.
Yeah,
Oh my
this is not
God.
my first time
Oh
cross
my
dressing.
God.
So
Hang on. You're
Oh,
like,
you could describe it.
you're really good at this.
Thank you.
Just surprise. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know who are you supposed to. I don't know who you're supposed to be, but that is amazing. Is it just? Are you just like a girl?
Some
or
would
is it-
some would call her a lady of the night. So,
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah.
I'm glad I can see a picture now.
so a little backstory. So
Yeah.
back this is a ways back when you could do this at work. So my aunt, who I believe you've met before, she would dress up like this at the office.
Okay.
And ironically, her name was Ginger. That was her character name was
Yeah.
Ginger. And so she would actually dress like this, and like people thought it was the funniest thing when she would do this, and like she would do it every year, and then be like to the point where people were like, hey, is Ginger gonna be at the Halloween party this year? Like, so that became a thing. So when I got a little bit older, I was trying to figure out my Halloween costume, and she's like, well, why don't you borrow the Ginger costume? Like, oh, sure, why not? So I'm actually these are actually her clothes that she used to
This
wear,
is
her wig,
great.
the glasses, all that stuff. Now I'll be real. One thing that I did not do in this picture, but that she would do, is she had like she took these pantyhose, and she filled them with bird feed, and then she would throw it over her shoulder, so that she was like a double D.
Oh my God.
And people thought it was like the funniest thing. I did not do that in this picture, all natural. And so, yeah, a little more flat chested in this picture. But yeah,
You pull it off great.
thank you. See the hip?
I know you got the pose down and everything.
I know.
The hip pop, the hands on the waist.
So be honest.
And he's like the head's kind of thrown back in a way, like it's just posed very.
And I'm
very
with
well.
my little sister.
Ashley looks so cute.
Yeah, I asked her.
So cute.
I'll say this. I said, hey, I'm gonna post this picture on the podcast. I said, do you want me to blur you out, or are you cool? She's like, I look pretty cute, so you keep me in it. I'm like, all right. I like the
so
confidence.
cute.
So yeah, that's my little sister, and
Aw.
you know, I thought we were just having a fun picture. I think what they were really doing was trying to highlight how ugly of a woman I was.
No, right away I knew that was Ashley. Right away, and I'm just for a second or two, I'm like, who's that? Next to her.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, oh my God.
Look at that.
Then it took me a second, and then I'm like, oh, that's Josh.
Did you think I was a woman?
Yeah, I did.
Mission accomplished.
I did. In the first second, I'm like, is one of her friends like what are? And then it came. Okay, yeah. So, yep, that's good.
It's
good
like one of those friends that she just keeps around to make sure that everybody understands like how good she looks. Like, look at this thing
that's
over
a good
here.
One.
Yeah, but that was a fun year of trick or treating.
Yeah.
I go to some houses. A couple guys hit on me. Not a big deal. I was a looker. And one old guy's like, "You are the ugliest woman I've ever seen." I'm like, fair enough, sir. But
That's so rude. Who said that?
He was like an 80-year-old man. It was funny.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. And then the other guy dropped candy on purpose, had me bend over and pick it up. which I did. I'm not gonna let that Kit Kat sit on the ground.
Both of those.
Yeah, and he did it in front of his wife. She was jealous. I said, sorry, girl. He likes the goods. You got a little too much meat on your bones because you're not flat chested like I was. No butt, flat chest. Apparently that guy was into that. He didn't like your normal female curves.
He liked you.
He did. I mean, hey, I'll be real. I like chocolate. He kept throwing those Kit Kats my way.
You're like, yes, I'll keep bending over for some chocolate.
Hey. So my friend I was going with, he's like, we need to move on.
Oh boy.
Like, all right.
Oh boy.
So yes, so that was. I thought I'd toss that one in at the end.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah,
that's a good one.
Some fun pictures.
Those were
there.
good.
Yeah,
those are cute. Thank you for all those submissions.
Yes, shout out to everybody who submitted.
Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna get some after the fact. I apologize for anybody who did not get those in time.
That's
and
okay.
But yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we did that. It was cool seeing everybody's costumes.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, who knows how long we've been recording because the camera keeps turning its back on us.
I know.
Is there any? I mean this with all due respect. Is there any possibility that this is happening not because of your ghost from your house, but didn't you mention your aunt?
Yeah.
And is this like did your aunt look? Did she look at all like this?
No.
Okay, we're good then. Because I thought maybe it was like a disrespectful thing. It's like, how dare you mock me?
Oh no, if she's here, she knows that that's me, and she probably thinks it's funny.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah.
She keeps turning off the camera.
She's a jokester, so that's.
So maybe she is turning the camera off. I don't know.
I mean, it could be.
All right, so we put out a poll.
Ghosts travel through frequency, like electronic frequencies. Apparently.
Makes way more sense when you say it looking like that. Like the ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
We took a poll. What poll? You said we took a poll. Is that what you just said?
I meant we put up a question.
Oh yes.
For people see if they have any ghost stories.
I have quite a few. I'll try to read them fast. I have some ghost stories. Okay.
These are from people that listen to our podcast?
Yes. A couple of them. A couple, yes. And a couple my cousins sent that are wild that I forgot that my cousins live in a haunted house, basically. Okay.
I was going to say, I think I've misunderstood our target audience.
So.
I didn't realize we had so many ghost stories.
So here's a submission from Nick, Dad and Greatly.
Oh, shout out to Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Can I be honest? I'm surprised, and maybe he's gonna be one of the ones that post late. I'm surprised we didn't get a costume from Nick.
Know.
I was really shocked that Nick didn't post share a picture with us. I feel like Nick. I don't think he said this to us, but I feel like Nick's a Halloween guy.
Yeah.
I feel like he goes all out with the costumes, but I feel like they've probably done some cool family pictures and family costumes. But yes, not a problem, Nick. I know you're busy, but I was surprised that you didn't say anything there.
Well, he sent a ghost story in. So. All right. So we asked people to send in their personal ghost stories or any experience, you've had that you want to share. So his goes like this. Okay, so I lived with my grandma for a summer. She was an avid ghost believer. One day I said I got no sleep, and she asked if it was because of, in quotations, of the clock. I was confused and said no and asked for more information, and she said, you'll experience the clock at some point. Time goes by and I wake up to her radio at like 3 a.m. hella loud. And side note, this is me talking, not the story. By the way, 3 a.m. is like according to all the true crime and ghost things that I listen to, that's supposed to be like a ghost thing, waking up at 3 a.m. Anyway,
like waking up specifically.
Yeah, at 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to continue reading. I'm thinking she's going to turn it off. She doesn't. I tiptoe in her room. She's asleep on the couch. I go back to her room and hit it off, and nothing happens. I'm mashing buttons. Nothing happens. I unplug it, and it still plays. I flip it over and see if there's a battery thing, and If there's also a plug, I do not know, but I flipped the little battery thing open and there are no batteries in it. I slammed that thing so hard on the ground that it broke. Grandma slept through it. The next day I get up and walk into the kitchen, and just by my face alone, she said, you must have dealt with the clock last night. So the clock is a little haunted.
Yep. I don't know why she's doing this. Yeah, it's haunted. That is interesting. That would be pretty creepy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'll be real. I think if it woke me up at 3 a.m, I'd be more irritated than scared.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and I very bold move by slamming the clock.
I know. He just broke it. He's like, I'm just gonna break this thing.
It's like that belonged to the ghost. It can't scare the next person.
Yeah. So there's the clock story. Thanks, Nick.
Very nice.
Great.
I wonder if it happened again. Or he said one time?
Yeah, he said one time, and I wish there was more in terms of like why. Like I want an explanation of like, is there a ghost in the house? Is there a significance to the clock? Like why? Anyway, I want an explanation now.
Maybe it's like Sixth Sense, where the entire time the grandma was the ghost.
Maybe. Could be.
No one actually lives in the house.
I don't know. Let's ask him later.
That seems like a disrespectful question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask that question. Probably shouldn't have said it. Okay, continue.
All right. So this next one is actually from my sister's sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah. I just call her my sister. We take sister trips together. Her name's Mona. So this is from Mona. So this is
your sister's husband's
sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just call her my sister-in-law, and then people get confused and they're like, "Wait a minute," and I'm like, "No, I'm not married, but this is anyway." I guess So I just say my sister sometimes. Okay. So I remember Mona telling me these stories a while ago. So I was like, "Hey, what are your ghost stories again? You got to tell me again." Okay. And by the way, I'm just reading word for word what they say, and there could be some typos, so I'll do my best. But I did read all these ahead of time, but I didn't get a chance to like edit them or fix them.
That's all good.
Okay. She said, when I lived in the Chico house in Santa Barbara, sorry, not Chico. I need my glasses. When I lived in Santa Barbara, I had many ghost encounters, but the main two were when I first realized we had a ghost, and then when I was moving out. One day I was sitting in my kitchen and saw a cup fall over and bounced a couple times. And when I looked at the cup, it stood back up, like someone had picked it up and put it upright. I immediately stood up and walked over to the cup to make sure I wasn't crazy. That was the day I realized we had a ghost. Many stories happened in between. And when I was moving out, my roommate and I were standing in the kitchen and we hear a noise in the bathroom, and we go to check it out and see that my hairbrush is bouncing around in the shower. No way. No way to explain it. My hairbrush was on the counter, nowhere near the shower, and we saw with our own eyes the hairbrush bounce in the shower. She says, haha, let me know. And then she says, let me know if you want any more. And I'm like, of course I want more. And then she also said, she adds, we always felt like it was male energy. And then we found out that there was a male construction worker from Mexico who lived there in the 70s who had gotten injured and then hung himself in the garage. So that's probably him.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then
he's playing basketball with the hairbrush.
Yeah, he's just throwing the hairbrush in the shower.
Interesting.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And again, with all due respect to everybody, how many of these people participate in recreational drugs? Any of them?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Nick, I don't know. Nick can tell us. We'll ask him later.
But Nick's like, this one, a step ahead or a step further. I was just curious.
Okay, let me keep reading though. She has another one. Okay. And then she said,
respect.
Okay, this is after the cup incident. So I guess one day it was hailing in Santa Barbara. She said, which is crazy rare. So when me and my roomie got home, I took a picture of all the hail on the couch outside. I guess there was a couch outside. And
it disappeared.
When we are showing her roommate's dad the photo of all the hail, he asked if we had a ghost, which we said, yeah, how did you know? And he said, it looks like someone is sitting on the couch. So when she went to look at the picture, I guess there was like a butt print with no hail on the couch. Like there was like nothing there. And she said no one was home. Like no one was sitting out there. And she said, so that was weird.
Did he sit there?
Maybe. Who knows? With the ghost or the dad?
The dad.
I mean, maybe that was a prank. And then
Just tossing it out there.
and then she said, another time my friend was over and he wasn't believing me that we had a ghost while I'm telling him all of these stories. And then my front door closed. A ball moved across the floor and the tapestry on my door moved. You could literally see the ghost moving through the house. And she said her friend was freaked out and said, okay, I believe you. So,
well, apparently this ghost is not a fan of not being believed.
I know, like, you're not going to believe I'm here. Screw you.
Yeah, screw you
I'm
guys.
going to show you.
Just starts rolling,
Yeah.
playing with a ball,
Yeah.
shutting doors.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, that's pretty respectful on the
Right?
ghost part, because you have these ghost hunter shows where they're having to spend like hours in these houses, and it's like, oh, are you really there? And doing all these silly tests.
Right.
This dude's like, I got your back. You don't believe it?
Yeah.
Here's a ball.
Here you go.
So very respectful.
Take a look
ghost.
at this.
Very respectful
right?
ghost. But she doesn't have any idea. Oh, it's the construction worker. Mm-hmm. Are we saying it's the same person?
We think it's still it's the construction. That's what it sounds like. That's who they think it is. The construction worker that hung himself in the garage of their house in the 70s.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. So okay, so that was Mona. She's all done. I think she has more, but that's all she sent me.
A construction worker in the 70s sounds like rich Aunt Deb's type.
What?
Right? Like the big 70s mustache.
Sure,
Come on. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me. I'm rich Aunt Deb in this situation,
Okay.
so I get to say what she's into. And yeah, she would be into a 70s, not the hanging part, but the rest of it, I think she'd be into.
Okay. A rich Aunt Deb has spoken.
Yep.
We will not argue with her. Okay, this next one is...
She actually like to argue.
This next one is from my friend Jenny, who I like to call her Jenny, like from Forrest Gump. Jenny. She went to Europe with me.
Oh, can you do that
She
again?
was one of the people I went to Europe with. So
Sure.
Jenny. Hopefully she'll listen to this. I don't know if she listens to my podcast, but she responded, Jenny. Okay, Jenny said.
I do like that. It was pretty good.
Jenny.
Was not expecting it.
Okay, so Jenny, she said, one late night when I was 17, shortly after my grandpa passed away, I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep. I had a pillow covering my face and my arms resting up on the pillow. I was wide awake, growing increasingly frustrated that I couldn't fall asleep. It was silent in the house, and I heard what sounded like footsteps on the wood floor of my bedroom slowly approaching my bed. I completely froze and kept the pillow wrapped tightly over my face, thinking there was an intruder.
Seems like that's a bad move, but doing half the work for him.
She was scared. I felt the weight of a hand wrap around my forearm and realized I wasn't just hearing things. I could now physically feel that someone was there. I laid completely still, hoping whoever it was would just decide to leave me alone. Moments later, a kind, familiar voice said my name. It was my grandpa's voice. It was silent again, and the weight of the hand lifted from my arm. After a bit, I mustered up the courage to lift the pillow. Nothing was there. The bedroom door was slightly ajar, exactly how it had been when I came into my room earlier that night. I sat up for a few minutes and thought about what had just happened, convincing myself I must have dreamt it, despite the fact that I lost my place. Despite the fact that I had just been annoyed at how wide awake I was minutes before, or was just imagining things. The next morning, I jokingly told my mom what had happened the night before. Expecting her to laugh along with me, I was puzzled when a look of shock came to her face. Did you talk to your dad today? Were the first words out of her mouth. I told her I hadn't, not understanding why that was relevant. She then told me that the night before, she and my dad were laying in bed watching TV when my dad suddenly sat up and stared at the chair in the corner of their bedroom. When my mom looked at him in confusion, he pointed over to the corner and said, "Your father is sitting in that chair right now." Which is so
That's
the
pretty
dad
wild.
the dad saw the grandpa, and then she heard or felt grandpa also. Which is crazy. Like it's so crazy to like if you've never like seen a quote ghost or anything, or if you haven't experienced anything like that, it just sounds so bizarre. So bizarre.
Yeah,
Jenny, thank you for sharing that. That's
Jenny.
crazy.
Yeah. That is pretty interesting, especially because I think not something that I've experienced, but I think especially at night, especially like the initial few things, you hear the footsteps, feel the weight. I mean, it'd probably be terrifying.
Yeah.
And then I think if you were seeing a ghost, then I think that would be especially for someone that you cared about and just passed away.
Yeah.
That probably would be a very I don't know, peaceful is the right word, but you know what I mean? It would be much more calm than it initially started off.
Yeah.
Because initially it's like, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
You think the worst. So, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Okay, I have a couple more.
Okay.
I gotta read these because these are great. So sorry.
Oh, please.
I'll
No,
try
please.
I'll try to go through.
No,
fast.
you're good. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about these things.
These submissions. Anyway, I got this idea.
Women's shorts. Excuse me.
And adjust your shorts. And I got this idea because I listened to a podcast called Morbid, and it's true crime. It's like ghost stories, and they cover lots of spooky things. And they always have segments called Listener Tales, and they ask people to submit their own stories of things.
Have you done it?
No, because mine is not nearly as interesting enough as all the people who write in. I'm, assuming they're telling the truth. I'm just like, that is so wild. Mine, all it is that my wine glass fell off 3 stories and didn't break, and then I think it's my aunt. So it's very boring.
I think you could spice it up a little bit. It's like
bit.
as the glass was falling, so did the bottle of wine, and in the air it poured itself a drink and then landed perfectly. Like you got to mix it up. Because let's be honest, I'm sure, I'm not saying the people that have submitted to this podcast, but like those shows, some of those people, we don't know if those are actual true stories. They may have spiced them up a little bit.
Maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll think about it.
And then say you're like no, you tried to lean over and catch the glass, but then you fell over. It's like, oh no, this is the end for Deb. And then someone caught you.
My aunt saved me.
And you looked like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's nothing here. And they gently put you on the ground.
Why don't you write it? You write it for me.
I just did. Off the top of the dome. You're the writer anyways.
Okay.
You could spice that up.
I'll do it.
And then say by the way, Connectable Podcast.
Just give us a shout out.
Plug us. That's what I'm saying. Think about the show, Deb.
Okay. I'll do it for the show. Okay.
You always tell Deb, Deb's just waiting for me to wrap up my nonsense. She's like, okay. And he's done.
Just do.
Move on.
Do the same thing to my students. Okay.
Wow, okay. Is this how you would treat your aunt? Excuse me.
Okay. I upset rich Aunt Deb. Sorry. Okay.
Cover myself up.
Sorry, Deb. Okay. Here we go. So this next one is
Stop looking at my chest, Jordan.
This next one, she'd like to be anonymous. So here's an anonymous one.
I will not make fun of this one.
Okay. In her old house, it was a 2-story house, and it says we built into it the apartment for me and my daughter. I think she didn't put this in here, but I know who this is obviously, and I think at the time she was living with her parents at the time.
Okay.
We built into it the apartment for me and my daughter, we built into it the apartment for me and my daughter. The apartment was attached to the main house. The house was never lived in before until my family moved in, because my family built it from the ground up. But for some reason, there were spirits in that house. I don't know if the ground in which the house was built on was something at some point, but nothing was ever built there. It used to be, I think, like a cattle ranch, but that was long ago. Anyway, that.
Well, I mean, like out there, it'd be like a different. It's like the rules aren't the same, right? So like there could be all kinds of things buried out there.
Yeah, who knows? And
like just families.
I think that's good that she said that, because usually all these like haunted stories or spirit stories are old houses where someone died in it or something happened, right?
Yeah, this is a new build.
This is a new build, right? Okay, so she thinks there's maybe a cattle ranch out there a while ago. Anyway, there were what I call shadow people in the house. Meaning that out of the corner of your eye, you could see them pass through an opening of a doorway. But when you actually turn, Josh just shook his head like, nope, I'm out.
Pass.
Meaning that out of the corner of your eye, you could see them pass through an opening of a doorway. But when you actually turn to look, you wouldn't be able to see it. I wasn't the only person in my house to see the shadow people. And there were different times where myself and my daughter would simultaneously see the shadow people. And we would say to each other, did you just see that? And the other would answer yes. We got to a point that we just called them the shadow people. I feel like that's very non-threatening. Just the shadow people. I don't know. I feel like it's non-scary.
I think you and I had a very different take on that. The shadow people? That sounds terrifying.
Jordan's face agrees with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I don't want to keep pointing at your costume, but you look like you belong to the shadow people.
That would
like
be
the queen of the shadow people.
Sorry, we're gonna get really morbid here, but when I die, I would love to just come back and just mess with people and just move things around and haunt. I think that would be awesome. Anyway,
I don't know if you were expecting that to surprise us.
Oh, okay.
But that did. No, not at all.
Okay, good.
No, that made sense.
That wasn't shocking. Okay.
No, I can see that.
All right.
I would hope you would come back and scare people into listening to the show.
I mean, that too.
Just go around to people's phones, download our podcast.
I'll just have it up and next in queue. Yep. There we go.
Now we're moving.
So they
Silent
called them
partner.
so they started calling them the shadow people. It wouldn't matter what time of day. It was just different times throughout the day at different times of the year, different occasions when I would be sleeping in my bed upstairs in the apartment that used to be the attic. Oh, okay, that's kind of scary.
So I'm sorry. So was it? So maybe you already said this, but were these people like? Were these scaring her?
It sounds like,
Or is this
no,
like
it
just
sounds
just
like it's
normal
more just like
business?
bizarre. Like she was just like, what is that? It sounds
Okay.
sounds like they're not really scaring her. I think she was just more like, who is this? What is this? Is it a ghost? Let's just call them the shadow people.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. And there were 2 different occasions that I woke up and I couldn't move. I was awake, but somehow paralyzed, like sleep paralysis. It felt like there was like an invisible being over my body holding me down. Okay. That is, nope, I'm out. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the shadow people couldn't be trusted.
I'm out. There was another time that I was very sick with pneumonia. I woke up from a dead sleep and one of the
Sleep.
No, listen, I woke up from a dead sleep. I woke up from sleep.
I'm just kidding.
And one of the
That's perfect.
And
Well
one
written.
one of the shadow people were by my bed. They're on the side of my bed, kind of hovering over me, and I remember pushing it away, and when I pushed it away, I actually felt as if I had actually touched something, like physically pushed it back.
Yuck.
I said out loud into the darkness, "What are you?" Yeah, so this, and I know who this is, and obviously I won't say this person's name. I know this person, and I feel like, yeah, they're not scared. They're just like, who are you? Like, what do you want?
Why'd you wake me up?
Yeah, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I always thought it was interesting that I never asked, who are you, but what are you? I pushed it back away from my bed. I knew it was still in the room, kind of up against the wall, still kind of looking at me. For some reason, I could sense from it that it was shocked that I physically pushed it away and yelled at it. I feel like the shadow person was surprised by that, and I don't know why it was hovering over me when I was sick. I don't know if it was there to do good or harm. I was never afraid of them, just always aware of them. Okay, there you go.
Sure.
Never afraid, but always aware. We ended up selling the house and moving
ghost
away.
How dare you touch me? It's just standing
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Like, wait, you could see me?
Yeah.
We ended up selling the house and moving away. The new owners, I think, only lived there for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then they moved. And I always wondered if the reason they moved was because they also saw the shadow people.
Jeez.
And then they say the shadow people did not follow me to my new house, and I don't see them anymore. So that was interesting.
That is a pretty creepy one.
That's a creepy one.
That is very creepy.
She's very just nonchalant. She's
Shout
like,
out-
whatever.
I was like, shout out to you for being so brave.
Right?
Oh, we got a question from the audience.
Do you know why she wanted anonymous? Like, is she worried the shadow people are going to find her?
I don't know.
If she's not scared, I'm confused. You guys obviously respect her
Sure.
Yeah.
anonymity.
Yeah.
But
Her anonymity. I don't know. Maybe if I say her name with the story together, they'll go over there. I don't know.
it's like she's
I
like
don't-
witness protection.
It's like
This
ghost
is
witness protection.
for her.
She
Yes.
out for the shadow people. It
Yes.
seemed like she dominated them.
She did. Yeah. Yeah. She
Well,
totally,
she shoved them.
Yeah. She's like, get out of here. Like, boo. She said.
What do you want?
She scared them.
I'm tired of this.
And they haven't followed her. They're like, we're not going to mess with her, with that lady. Like, no way. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. The shadow people kind of sound like douchebags. Like they just kind of just walk around the house. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They're lazy. They wake you up. You know what I mean?
And they're like bothering her while she's trying to sleep, like just watching her.
It's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
They
get out of
kind
here.
of sound like morons. You know what I mean? To be fair.
So a cattle ranch used to be there. I wonder, like,
What if it's cows?
I know, right?
Moo.
Were they cows? No. Did they move?
What
No.
is the Chick-fil-A Chick-fil-A
wonder-
cow?
Right? I wonder if, I don't know.
Eat more chicken. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe there's bodies buried underneath. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. Who
It's
knows?
like
I don't know.
squirting with milk.
Right? You don't know. Okay, now I need to move on. I have my cousins submitted 2. They had to email them to me because they're long.
Jeez.
But again, I'll try. I know I have 2
No,
left.
that's fine. I say
I'm-
G's with.
No, I'm shocked of all these stories I got. I'm like, holy crap.
I am too because we didn't get any on Connectable.
Okay, well they sent them to me. I got
Yeah.
a bunch. Yes.
We do tend to get a lot of questions and responses from Deb's side of the social media space,
I got lots.
which is great.
Okay.
That's why we do it. It's fun. We appreciate the responses. And again, I hope if you've never listened to this show, just know, and we should start putting this out there. Like if you submit things, I can't help myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So with all due respect, I'm trying to be as respectful
Okay.
as possible, but sometimes it's tough.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So this is
All right, Deb brushed me off again.
This is from my cousin Michelle, a different Michelle. So that was my friend Michelle with the costume submission.
Okay.
This is my cousin Michelle.
Okay.
And this is actually, so my cousin Brittany, this is her aunt.
Okay.
Brittany's actually my second cousin. No one really does that anymore. Anyway.
That's all right. We'll post a family tree.
Okay. Family tree. Okay. My cousin Michelle. So she said, this happened a long time ago. She didn't give me a time frame. She told me an event that happened so I could guess the time frame. Happened a while ago, a long time ago. Anyway, she said, we have always had questionable things happen in the house for a long time. In a nutshell, her brother, Richard, she said Richard's bedroom had 2 closets. Most morning, he would wake up and one of the doors would be open. We would see apparitions in the hallway leading to his bedroom.
So apparitions, jeez.
Right. Let me hang on. Let me go back and I remember visiting them. This house is in Oklahoma when I was younger. And I do remember my aunt saying like, oh, did you sleep in the ghost room when I was little? And I'd be like, what?
And she was being real.
Yes.
Okay. She wasn't messing with little Deb.
I do remember my mom telling me like I remember one time we visited them when I was in high school and when we got home, my mom's like, I didn't want to say anything to you, but you and your friends slept in the ghost room. And I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember anything happening. So, but that's, sure. Again, my memory in general.
Sure.
Too much drinking over the years. Okay. Okay. That bedroom had 2 closets. Josh just held up my queen goblet. Yes, there needs to be some wine in there. No.
Yeah, you've already said that.
Her brother had 2 closets.
Take it with you. Fill it up all you want. But you have to let me know if you drink out of this.
Yeah. I will. Absolutely.
All right. Send us a picture.
I will. Okay.
All right.
But they would see apparitions in the hallway leading to his bedroom. When we were adding on the back addition for Grandma, we would hear hammering in the middle of the night. Just a few things we experienced. And then she goes on to say she became friends with a medium on Facebook and asked her to come to the house. And she did. And here's how it went when the medium came over. You ready?
Can't wait.
When they arrived in the driveway, Mom's lights flickered. So Michelle's talking about living in her mom's house, my aunt's house.
Sure.
Mom's lights flickered and my cell phone did some weird stuff. They knocked on the door. Again, I'm telling you, electrical currencies. Anyway, okay. They knocked on the door, and I let them in. I didn't say a word to them about anything from the house, she says. The experiences we had or who we lived with, I just told them that we had some questionable things happening. So they walk in and take it all in, and she started off saying that there's a spirit living there. And then she told me the name, but I can't remember it now. She used to live in the house with her family. She pointed to the room where the portal was, which is, I think, the closet. I'm adding this in myself. I think it's the closet. She pointed to the room where the portal was, which is her brother's room, which explains why the closet door was open sometimes. Yeah, that's why I thought the closet. Okay. She said she meant no harm, meaning the spirit meant no harm.
Okay.
And was worried that we were going to ask her to leave. And she got nervous when the medium showed up. The spirit got nervous when the medium showed up. And then the medium continues to say, and it says, hence the lights flickering and the phone acting up. It's called a power surge, I guess, in quotation marks. Anyway, so the medium said that the spirit liked to watch over everyone at night to make sure that they were okay. At the time, my mom's living room had carpet. Her mom's boyfriend, who's since passed away, he had a hard time walking, and her mom had planned on getting hard floors before he got sick. So the medium mentioned how the spirit didn't like the fact that they had carpet because she was afraid the man in the house would trip and fall. And again, my cousin reiterates in here in parentheses, she didn't know a man lived there. Like, she doesn't know anything about the house. She just walked in.
Sure.
And that she hoped my mom would get rid of the carpet. Now going back to the add-on for Grandma, the add-on in the house. Well, that was in the back and not visible. During the time Mom's boyfriend was there, he pretty much packed that back room with a lot of stuff. The medium mentioned that room. She said the spirit enjoyed going in the back room and she liked looking at all the stuff they had because they didn't have that much stuff when she was younger. And then my cousin adds, how would the medium know what was back there? Like, you couldn't see the room when you walk in. Then she said the spirit would often watch my mom cook breakfast for the gentleman. She described the breakfast as scrambled eggs with tortillas and a lot of pepper. When I mentioned this to my mom, she said that was her mom's boyfriend's favorite breakfast. She would make for him all the time. And so she thought that was weird. Now she's talking about Brittany, because Brittany lived at that house for a little bit. So she said when Brittany was little, like 3 years old, she was asleep and woke up hysterically crying, saying, in quotes, her angel left. And we didn't know what she meant. The medium mentioned that the spirit wanted to apologize for upsetting the little girl. She just came to tell her that she had to go away for a little while, but she would be back. And then she said the hair on my arm stood up when she mentioned that. Brittany used to always sit under the table acting like she was playing with a little friend. Okay, pause. I am out when children do shit like that.
It's
I am
creepy.
like out.
It's creepy.
No thanks.
I'm with you.
Okay. They're
That makes sense.
My imaginary friend. I'm like, is it imaginary?
That's the real reason Deb doesn't want kids.
God, absolutely not.
They creep her out.
No way. And then, so she said Brittany would play with a little friend. The medium also mentioned that there was a little boy spirit there as well, the woman's grandson. He didn't die in the house, but he used to live there. At this point, we never left the living room. All of this is being said without going into any other room. So I'm standing next to the couch as she's talking about the little boy. My knees kind of buckled and I leaned against the couch and the hair on my neck stood up. And the medium looked at me and smiled and said, "Did you feel that? He just ran by you into the kitchen." I'm out if that happens.
I'm probably out at the beginning of the story.
So
that's wild. Just randomly met a medium on Facebook, or they sought it out.
It says my cousin said she became friends with a medium on Facebook. But she said that she's like, I didn't tell her anything about anything. I just said we had weird things happening in the house.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Okay. So then she goes on to say, so we told the spirit that we weren't asking her to leave as long as she had good intentions and watched over the family. After they, meaning the medium, I think, left, I told mom what she said and she confirmed everything. Then that night I was in the house by myself and of course had every light on. I noticed a shadow going from the living room into the back room that the spirit said she enjoyed exploring. I have never seen any shadows outside of that hallway from her brother's room. I spoke out her name, and it said, I don't remember the name, though. I wish I could remember. And said...
Janae.
Yeah, Janae. If it was Janae. No. And she said, we said we weren't going to ask you to leave, but that doesn't mean we feel comfortable giving you free reign of the house.
That's what I'm saying. These freeloading ghosts just walk around the house.
You don't have to leave, but you can't just do whatever you want here, basically, is what she told them.
Like, have a little respect, ghosts.
Have a little respect. So that is...
it's like leaving the toilet seat up and all that stuff. Like, how dare you?
So that's the end of my cousin's, of my cousin Michelle's story.
Oh, that was the end of her cousin? Like,
no,
the ghost took her out? No!
No.
Real plot twist at the end there.
Yeah. So, okay, so now Brittany did a submission, and this is Brittany from the photo submit, the costumes. Okay. Yeah. So Brittany was in the other story, right, when she was 3 about the imaginary friend and everything. Okay.
Yes.
So here's Brittany's side of it. Brittany said, I was born in that house that they had the medium in. Brittany was born in that house.
Okay.
And she was born in the house and in the exact room that the medium stated there was a portal in one of the closets.
Portal?
So remember when my cousin Michelle said her brother's room had a closet and they thought it was a portal.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
gotcha.
So Brittany was born in that room.
Came out of the portal.
Portal.
Which is a very inappropriate way of saying her mom gave birth.
Josh, just having you sit here trying to put the story together. You're like, okay, it came out of the portal. Okay, got it.
That's not how I would have described my child's birth, but I guess that's one way you can do it.
So Brittany was born in that room.
I lost my hat. Continue.
Okay,
maybe a ghost knocked it off. I don't know.
Yep, that's my aunt. Or was knocking it off your head. Okay.
I know she didn't like it. She feels like I'm being disrespectful. All right, go ahead.
Brittany said that closet, the portal closet, had always given her the creeps and that she never really wanted to open it, even as a really little kid. Okay, she goes on to say, I feel that since I was born in the house, I experienced way more than everyone else. Even when you step foot inside the house and are alone, you never really feel like you're in the house by yourself. Growing up, I could always sense an energy around and it felt like I was being watched while playing. One experience that stands out as my first encounter was when I was in 4th or 5th grade. It was later in the evening, and my mom had turned off the TV, then said it was time to get ready for bed. And her mom is Michelle's sister.
Okay.
I was being a little turd and decided I would fake being asleep on the couch instead of getting up to brush my teeth. Well, my mom went in to brush her teeth, so I was, quote, asleep on the couch in the dark. This couch was pushed up against the wall by the doorway to the kitchen. While laying there thinking I got away with pretending to be asleep, I heard very clearly what sounded like footsteps running from the back of the house into the kitchen, where I then heard the kitchen light switch click on. My head was on the armrest of the couch closest to the kitchen doorway. With my eyes closed, I could just tell that the light was turned on. I popped my eyes open, expecting to see my sister standing at the armrest as the light switch for the kitchen is on the same wall the couch was pushed up against. Sorry, I may have butchered that sentence. But anyway. However, when I looked, there was absolutely no one there, and that's when a chill of fear came over me. I jumped off the couch so fast and ran to my mom, who was still in the bathroom brushing her teeth and getting ready for bed. Another experience I had was when I was older. I was staying the night in one of the spare bedrooms. At this point, I was honestly too scared to sleep with the lights off at my grandma's house because of the constant feeling of someone being in the same room as me. I had woken up shortly after falling asleep, and there was a nightlight plugged in near the side of the bed I was sleeping on. Almost instantly after I had opened my eyes, the night light flashed on and then back off again as if someone had walked in front of it, blocking the sensor. I also did provoke the lady spirit one time because I was being a little shit and was struggling to even believe in ghosts. I kept saying, "Come on, do something. Show me you are here." And I guess this made her upset. She appeared in the dark hallway, which scared the daylights out of me. My mom and Aunt Michelle were sitting on the couch across from me with their backs to the dark hallways. They saw my face go pale white, and I jumped off of the couch I was on. I wonder what, I want more detail from her. I wonder, what she saw when she's like, I saw her. That's what I want to know. What, a shadow, the silhouette. Did you see her face? What did she look like? Anyway.
Just some ghost, brass knuckles ready to fight.
Brass knuckles.
Dressed like a boxer. That's crazy because it sounds like this ghost was not her favorite thing in the world prior to that, and then she just wanted to throw down with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She just had enough. All right.
Yep. And then she goes on to say, the last one that sticks out to me, which goes to show I do believe the spirits in her house mean no harm, was one day I was going home. I said goodbye to everyone as I was walking towards the door. They were all in the kitchen, which was to my left. I heard them all say goodbye. Well, a few moments after that, I heard a soft goodbye, like someone saying bye, come from the right side of me, but there was no one on that side of the house. This made me stop in my tracks. And then she goes on to say, now for my house, so for the house that she currently lives in on her own, she said, I bought it in 2020 and have had a few experiences. Shortly after moving in, I kept getting this feeling like there was a man standing about a quarter of the way up my stairs and didn't seem super happy. I don't know what it is with my cousin just running into being these cranky ghosts. They don't like each other, apparently.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what would be creepier if you had a man standing a quarter way up the stairs, super happy or super angry.
Absolutely. I know.
I'm not sure I'd be thrilled if he was super happy either. You know?
Yep, exactly.
All right.
Get out.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to say, I constantly hear things move around my house, and it will sound like someone is walking around upstairs when no one else is home. After a few years of hearing odd noises, one such being the sound of a big stack of papers being dropped on the floor, footsteps, doors and cabinets being opened that I thought I saw closed before, I was speaking with my neighbors, and one of them dropped some info on me that I didn't know before buying my house. A younger man died in my house, but I have zero details on what happened. The seller didn't mention it. I can't find anything online to provide any information. However, my neighbor was living here when it happened and remember there being a lot of police. I now have no clue on what type of spirit or spirits may be haunting my house, but I now and again get the feeling like someone is standing right beside me and watching me. Well, dang, Brittany. Sorry. That's rough. She's just like, yeah, someone's there. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stay here.
That's crazy that she's just at peace with it.
Yeah.
Good for you, though. 'Cause, if you got to live with it, you might as well just accept it, I guess, right? Instead of being afraid your entire life, you could just be like, all right, cool.
Oh, my God.
What do you need from the grocery store?
Wild.
That is pretty wild. Yeah. shout out to you too for writing that whole thing. That was pretty good. All the details. I feel like I could picture what you were saying.
They're very detailed. And shout out, they got it to me today. I asked them for it today. So I was just remembering at work today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, my aunt has a ghost or had a ghost, because I remember all this. And so I texted, had a group chat going. I was like, hey, send me the ghost stories. I know you guys have ghost stories. And they're like, oh, we have lots. What do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, whatever you want. They're like, you need to give us your email because it's long. I was like, okay, here you go.
All right, well.
So there it is. I have one more that's very short. Look how short it is comparably.
Oh, let's do it.
Very short. Okay.
Let's do it.
This is, last one.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
I want to read all of the submissions.
Spooky ghost stories.
Right. So I told you I had a lot, or maybe I didn't tell you. I don't know. I have a lot.
No, you did.
Okay.
You did. And I believed you. I was not surprised. Like I said, I've all these years, 200 episodes, I really did not understand who our core audience was.
So,
now I know.
Right? So this last one is very short. This is the anonymous sender with the shadow people. This is her mom submitted one to her.
It's the shadow people.
Shadow.
Sending their side of the story.
Okay. All right. This is not right.
It's like she lied about us. Everything she said was, what's that?
Yeah.
They brought receipts.
They brought receipts. Like, we did not scare her. We told her we were going to be. She invited us to the house.
It was us.
It was us. And we don't appreciate her lies about us.
So her mom, she texted me. She said, hey, my mom sent this one to me just now. So here you go. So Anonymous's great-grandmother was sitting in her tiny retirement apartment back in the late 70s. Suddenly, she realized there was a strange young man sitting in her red rocking chair gazing at her.
Construction worker.
The construction workers in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called that.
He was dressed in what appeared to be a Civil War uniform. He impatiently,
Wrong 70s.
right? He impatiently looked at her and said to her, hurry up, I'm tired of waiting.
I'm cleaning my musket.
Before great-grandma could reply, her apartment door swung open and in walked in her sister who lived down the hall. Oh, I want to live in a retirement home with my sister. That'll be so fun.
After hearing this story, you still want to live there?
Not in this one.
I'm just saying.
But in one.
I mean, if ghosts are near death,
I mean,
that's probably a place where there's a lot of ghosts.
Well, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, they're really
the door swung open and in walked her sister who lived down the hall. Great-grandma glanced back at the rocking chair only to see the figure fade quickly away. Without a beat, her sister said, do you know there was a man sitting in that chair just now? So they both saw him.
That's pretty wild.
There you go. That's it.
Civil War general.
Civil War, 70s, not construction worker, but Civil War.
All right.
I wonder who that was.
I'm going to go with the construction worker instead.
I wonder who that was. The Civil War guy said great-grandma's name. I just didn't want to say the name.
Okay.
But said her name. So I wonder if it was like a deceased husband or something.
Maybe.
Or lover or whatever. I don't know.
Or lover.
I don't know.
Ghost.
I'm not gonna.
It turns into that scene from Ghost. They're doing pottery together.
Yeah. So
right.
there you go. Those are my ghost stories.
So I think you're dismissing the idea that it's like it's not the construction worker. It could be because in that moment he was expecting to have this nice moment with the grandma, right?
Yeah.
She was a little hesitant, a little standoffish. She was just getting, warmed up to the idea of having this romantic thing with this ghost. And then her sister walks in, ruins the whole date.
Yeah.
He's like, I had my one
shot. It's
shot.
like a real life thing. Oh, and then he hangs himself.
That's what that was, yeah. I thought that was pretty clear. You can see how the pieces fit together very nicely.
Yeah.
70s. Okay. Civil War construction. We also... Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I don't know this person. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
Hey, it could be. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't know. I'll say this. We don't know if all of these details are completely true.
Everything.
Right? To an older person, a Civil War uniform could look very similar to a construction uniform.
Oh yeah, because they look exactly alike.
Again, to you know the difference. To an older person, we don't know if she was wearing glasses.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say.
Well, those were the submissions, and those were awesome.
That was great. Thank you so much. I feel like for the ghost stuff, you should have probably had a different co-host.
I hope. I don't know if it got us me reading the stories and you guys can see Josh's face. Or I don't know. He's got sunglasses on, so maybe you can't. But I could just see him next to me, just kind of like, just trying like nodding, like waiting.
Well, like I said, I want to be. Deborah, you put me in a tough spot because you've done a lot of. We've done 200 episodes together. 200
Yeah.
episodes.
200.
You know how I am.
Yeah.
Would you ever call me serious?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly. And then you bring
This-
this to the table,
I had
which is
to.
great. It's a Halloween episode, but you also have to understand I'm not mature. I'm technically 36, but some days
clearly-
I act 3 or 6.
This is great. You were
So-
a great audience. You did really good.
I don't think
You
I
did better than I thought you would.
You tell me how your friends and family feel about me after this. If we start getting a lot of 1-star reviews after this one, I get it. No problem, everybody. I understand. I did not say nice things about your
But you know,
ghost.
I know. I thought you did great. You did better than I thought. You held it together pretty good.
Thank you. I tried my best.
You did good follow-up questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will Jordan and I talk about this later? Yes, we will.
I love it.
Off air, yeah, we're gonna talk about some of these stories.
Good.
Awesome. Well, this has been
Yeah.
fun. I don't
Yeah.
even know how long we've been recording because, like I said, we had some technical issues. But 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours plus.
Woo.
Really? You think that's actual footage?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, I told Rachel that it probably wouldn't hit 2 hours. I
Sorry,
lied.
Rachel. Sorry.
Sorry, Rachel.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
My
I'll
ghost
get,
story.
I'll get the wig from Deb.
My ghost stories pushed it to the edge, but there
That's
you go.
okay. They were fun. Yes, sir.
Last question.
Question.
So, based on your characters, what are each of you handing out for Halloween? What candy? What type of candy? Because I think it's very different types of candy for what you guys are portraying right now.
Yeah. Probably those airplane-sized bottles of liquor.
You?
Aunt Deb? Rich Aunt Deb? Sure. For the kids, doesn't matter. Let's throw them out there.
Oh my god.
Because let's be honest, at that point of the night when Rich Aunt Deb's giving away candy, she doesn't know what she's doing.
I did give away White Claws one Halloween to parents.
See? But I'm saying Rich Aunt Deb doesn't even know it's a parent, a kid. She's
They're
like,
just handing them
that
out.
could be a little person, that could be a full we don't know. So here you go.
Here you go. Don't want to leave anybody out.
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's holding back right now.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
I don't know. I feel like I would hand out apples. I don't know, caramel apples, black licorice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good and plenty's.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good and plenty's. Ew, gross.
Yeah,
Black
Deborah?
licorice.
Does not hand out good candy.
Yeah,
She's probably casting spells on people.
put nails in the kids.
Probably.
bags.
No, you wouldn't do that. You're probably sticking your own arm. You're not gonna waste a good nail on some kid. It's like, not that that's funny. It's a very serious thing.
Yikes. There you go.
Yeah.
Good question,
I
Jordan.
just want to feel something. Probably your boyfriend like hit it with a hammer in your arm. So you guys spend your Friday nights.
Hey, that's love, I guess.
It's like there's so much blood, just like the love I have for you.
Blood in a vial and
Yeah.
a necklace. Yep.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call.
Oh, on that note.
On that note, it's been a fun episode. And Deb, where can they follow us on social media?
Boy, you guys can follow us on Twitter at Connectable Pod, and then every other social media platform like YouTube, Twitter, or hang on, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Connectable Podcast. I will fill this up with wine later.
Yeah. She
Yes.
hasn't yet. It's empty, but that pitch of our social media sounded like she had drank the whole
Completely
thing.
sober. Had lots of coffee today, actually, so I'm ready for some wine.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap this thing up so Deb can get to it.
Yeah.
You guys please subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. Also on YouTube. We would appreciate it. And please. We always have fun doing this episode, so please share it with people you know. Listen to it, download it, and we appreciate everybody who's been with us since the beginning. It's been fun. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys at 300.
Happy 200. Yeah, we'll see you at 300.
If we make it to 300. So far, so good. It's always, I knew it. She's waiting for the exit. I'm not going to fire her. So for something we make no money at.
Just keep giving me gifts like this. I'll stick around.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing. So, oh yeah, I think Rich Aunt Deb would probably give king-size candy bars. Yeah, with her phone number attached on the back for the daddies.
Okay, good one.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
See you guys. All right.
You're like ready. You're like, I take this wig off.
Look at this. Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.